One final thing that you need to think about when you're developing your M&A strategy is, can you identify and attract the right size of investor? Now, what does that mean? Is that when you have investors, then they are at different levels and different grades. A lot of people, they go to their friends and family. Their friends and family have only got, 5K, 10K. If they're lucky, they've got 50K that they're willing to invest in a deal. How many 5Ks and 10Ks will you need to raise to go and buy a business which is doing $500,000, or the valuation of that is $500,000 for your first deal? It's a lot, yeah? You have to raise 10 at 50K. How many people in your family have 50K sitting there that they're willing to invest? Now, by the way, you'll be surprised. There's more than you think. But how many are willing to give you money? That's the other question, yeah? So really, what you need to do is that you need to think about, and fundraising is a full-time job. Fundraising is a full-time job. So when you're going out and you're fundraising, you really need to try to build relationships. Okay, and this is really important. It's about build relationships. And depending on, a lot of people, when they're watching me, they're only going for, ethical finance, which means mainly investors, really. That's investors. But if you're going to lenders and so on, then that's your game as well, right? So you need to build relationships with lenders and investors. And they're different types, and you need to talk to them. Say, like, what size of deals or what industries are you interested in? Okay? A lot of people, they have what do they call it? It's not a lending limit. They call it basically they have a sweet spot. Okay, I can't remember what the term is now. Like, for example, I was talking to an investor last week. We've got a meeting booked in January, next month basically. And their ideal lending spot is 750K to 7.5 million. Okay? 7.5. That's what they like. That's their sweet spot. They like to do deals which are from 750K to 7.5 million. If, for example, I was looking at, there was a lender site that I went on because I was just checking out, and their minimum is 1 million. Okay? So if you're, and that means loan size. Loan size. So this investor is 750K to 7.5 million. And their minimum criteria is that your business has to be doing at least 250K in profit, 2 million plus in revenue, and a certain team size, which our business meets all of that criteria, plus more. So this other people, they're minimum 1 million loan size. Now, this is interesting because if they're only going to do 70% what's called LTV, loan to value, which means that the business, my math is a little bit rubbish, but the deal size needs to be at least 1.3 million for them to be interested in even lending to you. Okay? So there's different sizes of investors. There's some investors. So I remember a couple of years ago I was talking to an investor. Their minimum, so your business has to be doing 600,000 in EBITDA. 600K in EBITDA. Right? And then they're willing to basically give you checks on a line of credit of £1 million a piece, £1 million plus a piece. Okay? But your business is doing at least 600K in EBITDA. So they're willing to go to, I can't remember exactly what it was now. I think they're willing to go to 100 million in credit. For the right businesses, of course. They're not going to give, if you're doing 600K in EBITDA, they're going to give you 100 million. That's ridiculous. So they're going to look at your business and say, right, let's say, for example, you've done 5 acquisitions, then you've done another 10 acquisitions, then you've done another 20 acquisitions, and that's when you're going to reach your 100 million credit, yeah, your investment level, then that's fine. Okay, that's when they will do the 100 million. So that's why you really need to look at the size of investors and build that into your path, into your M&A strategy. And you need to understand your industry. You need to understand your sector. You need to understand your industry. What kind of businesses are there? And never go for the smallest business in your industry. Always do the biggest deal that you can do. Even if it's your first deal, try and stretch your target as much as possible. The more you stretch, the better it will be for you, both in terms of the income that you can take from it, the value that you create from it, and the type of investors that are going to be interested in funding those deals. So that's a quick summary of M&A strategy. Remember, the first thing, the things that you need to look at is size of business. Size of business. Is it a micro business? Is it a small business? Is it a mid-cap business? Then you need to look at what your goal is. Yeah, or in fact, whichever way around, your goal, is it empire or exit? Then you need to look at what the strategy you're going to use and your pathway. Meaning how many acquisitions over what period of time. And you need to always take into consideration the size of investors and always be fundraising. So I hope that gives you a brief introduction into M&A strategy. And if you want to find out more about mergers and acquisitions, acquiring, building enterprise value, continue watching videos on this channel. And if you want to get in contact, there's links in the description. My phone number somewhere on this page. Definitely reach out, but only if you're a business owner or if you're an investor with a significant amount of capital that you can deploy. I'm happy to talk to you and talk to you about building your M&A strategy. I'll see you in the next video.